I'm just going to go ahead and assume everybody called who the witch was going to be, right? Gotham, second episode of the 5th season. And this one was a little bit disappointing, certainly compared to the last one. It was, I don't want to say wheel spinning, but it was one of those that's more about sort of getting the pieces moved into certain places than it was actually moving much forward. I mean, the main thing that actually kind of developed at all was the stuff that went on with Selina, and I have mixed feelings about it for a couple of reasons. So that's my general thoughts. I'm going to get into spoilers pretty quickly since I'm getting these up several days after they air. I assume most people who care have seen the thing by now. So, I'm not especially fond of, like, kind of the fodder gangs that got tossed in to this one, and like I was really looking forward to how the characters that we know and have been established are faring in this world, and I feel like we got tossed a bunch of nobodies this time, that if they were supposed to be people either from before, references to the comics, I didn't get them. Maybe they were too deep a cut in either case. You know, the gang with the kids and the ghost, and yeah, a lot of that wasn't clicking for me. Barbara was good. I mean, I like Barbara ticked off. I think that's when Barbara's best. So I was all for that. I was all about that. Then, okay, so the Ivy thing. First of all, I'll just reiterate at this point, I don't like this Ivy especially. Like, there have been 3 Ivies. Young Ivy, current Ivy, and what Liz and I have come to term, middle Ivy. And we love middle Ivy a lot. This Ivy, not nearly as interesting. And what I had hoped for is, because there was like this build-up to the reveal of her, despite all the hints pointing to who it was going to be, it was just kind of her. Like, I had really hoped that they were going to go along the lines of some of the more inhuman kind of incarnation she's had in the comics. You know, maybe her skin would be green. Maybe she would have like the vines actually coming out of her, you know, or sort of etched across her skin. Like one of those looks, one of the less human looks, and they just kind of didn't. And I'm like, oh, well, there's a wasted opportunity, plus the fact that I'm stuck with this one. Now, as far as what happens to Selina, I have mixed feelings about. When I saw where it was heading, I was like, I don't like this at all. The way it actually played out was slightly better than what I was afraid of. I still don't really like it though. So here's my big problem with this. With the whole premise apparently now being that this seed is going to not only help Selina recover, but also sort of bring out her worst elements to set her up to be a villain for, you know, the proper world of Batman, where she'll be Catwoman and all that. You know, I get that, but here's what I don't like about it. Bruce was the one who sought it out. Bruce was the one who brought it back to her. Bruce was honestly the only one who was told in any terms, even the vague ones that he got, what the consequences were going to be. In other words, Selina kind of got robbed of agency here. And I don't just mean in the immediate, because yes, she does make the decision, I want to take it, but like this is going to affect the entire path of her future life, and I feel like in some ways that robs her of the agency of who she gets to decide to be. And that bugs me, especially because I like this version of Selina, and I would have bought this version I would have bought that there could have been an event where this version of Selina would have simply chosen to not walk the straight and narrow as Bruce does. And feeling like it's more forced onto her, I don't like that as a general premise. Again, it's not as bad as it could have been, because she does say, you know, she does decide to take this thing. So she has a little bit of agency there, but like overall, I still feel like it robs her a little bit. And then like some stuff that, as I said, feels wheel spinning. Like I feel like we learned nothing new with Ed and with the Riddler. I feel like they're just padding that out at this point. They got to get to wherever that's going. And beyond that, it was just, a lot of it felt like it was reiterating stuff from before. Like, Gordon has another conversation with the mainland about how they can't get supplies. Like, yeah, we did this last time. And, like, there's a whole bunch of people going to the cops, you know, for safety and security. Yeah, we covered that last time. Like, it feels like it's reiterating a heck of a lot of stuff that was made pretty clear in the last episode, or at least clear enough that it didn't need to be reiterated completely. So, I don't know. This wasn't, it wasn't bad. It was not a bad episode, but given that this is a short season and it is the last season, this is the kind of getting the pieces moved into the right place, borderline filler episode I'm a lot more forgiving of when a season has 22 episodes. When it's a shortened season like this, I don't want to see stuff like this. Find a way to get the pieces moved where they need to be for later in a more interesting and entertaining and absorbing way than this. It felt very much like a transitional episode. From the setup we got before to whatever's going to happen next time, these were the things that had to happen to allow whatever's next. But it didn't feel like much beyond that. So, yeah, a little bit disappointed with this particular episode of Gotham. But, you know, hopefully it bounces back. Because Gotham, like I said, Gotham can have these kinds of episodes from time to time. And usually it is setting up something that is going to be a lot more fun later. But as I said, I am way more forgiving of that when we're talking about a longer season of television. And this isn't that. So, not in love. But in any case, have you seen it? What did you think about it? Whatever your thoughts are, drop something down in the comments. Let's talk about it. A whole bunch of stuff you can do because there's buttons and links, including one to the Patreon. If you want to support me in that way, it would be greatly appreciated. But there's other stuff to check out as well if you want to. And if you don't, that is okay. Because at the end of the day, folks, you're the council. And I'm just running the meetings. And until next time, this council is adjourned.